Hello, it's Marina from The Butterfly Effect and welcome back. This is a reading for Libra for mid-October 2019. Obviously, I have been away for a wee while. I'd just like to thank you for not unsubscribing to my channel. I was half expecting a massive decline in subscribers over the last fortnight, but you're still here, so that's awesome. Thank you very much. I had a little break. And I'm now relocated. You might be able to tell. I built my desk. It has taken an hour and 45 minutes, and the instructions did say 2 men, 3 hours. No. 1 woman, and an hour and 45 minutes. And I absolutely timed myself. Oh, I've just lost something here. I know what it is. Because I had to build a chair in July, and it nearly crushed me. It really did. It was just dreadful. It took a whole night. It must have taken, I don't even know how long, 4 hours for a chair. So anyway, yeah, that's why I timed myself, because I'd lost all confidence in my abilities to be flat pack queen. Anyway, welcome back, Libra. Happy birthday. I have a number of Libras in my life who have been in my life. There's quite a number of them. It's very odd, very odd. Here's what I will tell you about Libras, and obviously the Justice card has come up here. So I could be reading for a male Libra, who I'm going to call Mike over here, or a female Libra. You'll be able to place yourself in a minute. Is that they're obviously always seeking balance, and everyone thinks Libras are very balanced mentally. My experience of Libras is that they are seeking balance, but their ability to achieve it is actually quite difficult. They tend to swing that pendulum pretty hard in one direction and the next, whether it be, you know, a fixation on exercise, or a certain food stuff, or a certain hobby, or a pastime. They really do go all out in one direction and then all back in the other, and this middle part is pretty hard for them to actually find. That's just my experience, just throwing that out there. Sorry, I was just saying I wouldn't get any interruptions, and I've just had my first one. Okay, so we're starting off with Mike the Mancer here. This is the masculine side of the boards. They say, gosh, this is weird because you're so close. I shouldn't get any complaints that you can't hear me, because my mouth is literally over the receiver. So here's Mike. Mike is all about taking things really slowly and looking for clues and studying and strategizing, and nothing is ever done in a hurry with Mike here. This energy over here is someone who has been very patient, but they have neglected, I think, this feminine over here, which I'll come on to, because they have had something else they felt the need to deal with. I'm not convinced they have taken as much action as they probably should have done, because they're also coming through as my seahorse spirit, which is very much watch and wait. These are two energies of watching and waiting and preparing, looking for clues, taking notes, that sort of thing. But there's very, very little action here. And because I have got the Justice cards, this could literally just represent Libra, or it could mean they have been involved in the legal system with regards to money and inheritance, a job, something like that. But there's waiting. There's just not a great deal of action that has been taken. With the seahorse spirit here, watch and wait, they do watch from the sidelines. You know, they sit in the water and they just flow, you know, as the water moves. They very much are observers. It's just all very non-active over here. I think there's action this person should have been taking with regards to a feminine over here, but I think they've very much been distracted with something that they have deemed more important, because it is the Justice card, it is the Ace of Pentacles, and it is Temperance. So it is something that's so weird holding the cards like this. I'm not going to get used to this. But the desk is too narrow to put the camera in front of me. But anyway, boring myself. So yeah, something to do with the Ace of Pentacles here. I do sort of feel it could be like an inheritance. It's something to do with money and something tangible. Anyway, they may have actually been going through a divorce. I am getting that further down the line. And it has been a case of trying to reach some sort of balance with the other party to divvy up the assets, the property, the business, the kids, whatever it may be, but their focus has most certainly been elsewhere. They have been confused, and I do think this relates to this feminine who has very much been this person, Mike over here, has pretty much turned his back on this feminine while he's been dealing with this. He has been confused as to where his destiny is, whether it is with this feminine or, you know, wherever, focusing on their own self-worth, maybe trying to build their own self-worth, maybe not feeling worthy enough, but they're absolutely confused, and to the point they're so confused, they have very much just chosen to focus and deal with, concentrate on the tangibles, on the things that needed to be handled in their opinion that were maybe more important, more pressing. Yeah. Okay. And then I have my feminine over here. As I say, Libra, this could be you if you're a Libra female, if you're a cross watcher. You'll be able to place yourself. I'll come on to Tatum in a second. I have got my Lady of the Harvest here, which is release and letting go. Sorry, I'm not really working out where these places. Really what I got from this is that this feminine, if she has been waiting on Mike over here, she has been too long, to the point it's actually painful. I actually get the whole image of, and sorry about this, but I literally did see mastitis. She has got enormous breasts, my Lady of the Harvest here, and they are so swollen to the point that they're painful, and this is when I went through the whole mastitis vision, having had it. From I mean 80% of my watchers are females anyway, but it's bloody painful, and you know, it's there's just no release. The breasts are so swollen, you know, a pump won't work, you can't feed the baby, you get a temperature, you know, you'll be putting frozen cabbage leaves down your bra for weeks on end. It's just freaking painful, and there's no release, and it gives you a temperature and makes you very ill. And this is what I'm seeing from her, and I think she's been able to release this, and this release either of Mike is literally ecstasy. It's just like the bursting of an abscess. It's just sweet relief. So either this feminine has been waiting for Mike for such a long time, it has been unbearable. She may have been yearning for him, hoping for his return, hoping he would turn and look her way. Yeah, I do think that's what it is, and it's just become so painful that she's now almost celebratory that she's managed to release this, because this ecstasis card is about healing from the past. It can be like, it does empower the cards around it. It's just a sweet release. It can be like ecstasy and rapture and orgasm, but it's just a relief, because I think there's been an enormous amount of pain here for some time, and we are in, you know, September, October, harvest season. This feminine over here, she wants her joy back, she wants her peace back. She's been at this for a very long time, with the perseverance card. This is carrot cloak here, keeping on her cloak, waiting for her big break, waiting for Mike to turn in her direction. Well, I'll show you Tatum in a minute, but the heads of Mike and the seahorse spirit are turned very much in this direction, while he's all very confused and dealing with much more important matters than this feminine over here, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, I think you if you're coming through as this feminine, I've held on for a very long time to the point it's painful, and you're now literally delighted that you've been able to let this go. Now, you've either been able just to let this go on your own, or you have possibly met someone else who's maybe even just popped your cork here. That is quite possible. I'm not really seeing another individual though, Libra. I'm seeing you very much focused on yourself. You're coming through down here as my main female, and Mike is coming through as my main male. So this is, you know, it was a big deal, this relationship. There was a very strong connection here for sure, but held on for a long time, and now feeling sweet release in the frog spirit, which is clearing of clutter. So this is just tidying up you know, your mental headspace, your physical headspace, clearing out your cupboards. It can be that mundane, but it's just making way for the new, and everything on this side of the board is heading in that direction. The Six of Swords and the Star card. So this is moving towards, well, it can be wish fulfillment. It's moving towards healing. It's just confirming the release card, the Lady of the Harvest with ecstasis. It's just like a mirror image of this. I've had enough. I don't want the aggro. I just want to be, I want to be happy. That's what it is. Quest and joy. I want my happiness back. I want a new beginning. I want to feel good again. I want to dance again. I've reduced the size of my breast. Maybe you've had a breast reduction. I don't know. But there's just an overwhelming feeling of release here of something that was very, very heavy. As I say, while Mike has been looking in the other direction here. And you have got Miss Spiderweb. Reconsider your alliances and make new connections. Now, I think what's happened here is Mike has been very busy with something else, possibly his divorce, if that rolls with you. You know, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. But there's something he's been dealing with here that he has deemed more important, and hasn't paid any attention to this feminine here. Yeah, this is what he's been dealing with. He's we have got the Six of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the King and Queen of Wands. So I'm seeing this as Mike and his possibly his wife, certainly his counterpart, and this is either a successful separation, conquering heartbreak. Is something that's been working on, but because I've got my Justice card and the Ace of Pentacles, I just think that this is someone's divorce, or you know, even if they weren't married, they may have had financial commitments, joint accounts, a joint business. There's something that had to be separated and divvied up here, that Mike was very keen in having success with. And I think he may have actually achieved that now. I do think he's been working on this diligently, but I don't know for how long, 8 or 9 months possibly. But this female, and if this is you, you have very much not been his focus of attention. And then, I mean, this may have completed now. I mean, I could be reading a big backstory here. And then we have taken the self for Mike here. And this is like, what I got from this was something has happened. Maybe he's realized that you're no longer an option, no longer in the picture. Maybe you have met someone else and you've moved on. And I literally got, what's the word? Whiplash. This is like whiplash. This is a complete 180. The head whips round because the head and the face has been heading in this direction for a long time, and now this is dealt with. He suddenly realised that you're not there, and you were supposed to be there with your heavily laden, painful breasts, waiting for Mike to return. Yeah, and now this has come as a bit of a shock to Mike here with taking the self. This is like mental sharp acuity. This is finally like, it's a light bulb moment. It's like, you know, it's seeing something that he hasn't seen before. And as I say, if you can see how the cards are laid out, I'm not sure, can you? You can see Mike here. Oh gosh. So it's all this way, heading towards this, and then this card is here, completely opposite direction, looking over towards the Lady of the Harvest here. So here he is. This is Mike. This is the main male who's come through as a hero, good guy, And this is the main female. This is my Lady of the Harvest, who's come through as a seeker, which is very much what she's basically seeking is her own joy, her own happiness. The song I got through on this, I will pop them below if I can think of any others, was Tragedy. When the feeling's gone and you can't go on, and I really should be holding you. So yeah, I think as the feminine here, my Lady of the Harvest is just, it's very, as I say, there could be someone else. I'm not really getting it. I just feel that you finally got to the point where it's no longer painful, and you do feel that you've been released from possibly a soul contract, if that resonates. But she's very much focused just on her own stability. The Queen of Pentacles, and very stable energy. This is, you know, mum, and she's just solid. She's so stoic. She can be a bit forlorn, I do find, in this card. But she's very much focused on her Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Three of Pentacles. It's all about working, building stability, just really, really solid energy. I have to say, maybe a little bit dull. I don't see a huge amount of excitement. I just feel that you're, if this is your reading, that you're at the stage where you now feel that you are able to move on. You're very focused on that direction that will bring you happiness, that will bring you something new, something exciting. But you are putting in the groundwork here. I think you've got a bit of, you know, stability to build up on a material basis. I did ask, because I will come on to this, what was dividing this couple, because to come through as my main female and my main male is pretty unusual, and it was poverty with the privileged lady. So the privileged lady, when she comes up in a reading with the main female, is usually the other woman. What was the card I dropped? I can't remember now. Oh, it was Great Fortune. So this other woman possibly did have more money than you. Maybe was just seen as a better prospect. If it's not that, then as I say, they have been going through a separation, and there has been finances involved, and that's very much taken their focus in that direction. Their focus has been on the financial aspect of it. But it is possible that this Six of Wands with the Three of Swords could be, you know, maybe the healing of this relationship, but a very big factor is the money that was involved. And I'm not going to lie, I've gone down the whole, when I see this look here on based on that, I've got Rebecca, Daphne du Maurier, and I've also got Jane Eyre in my head when I saw this combination. So Mike here may literally have Mad Bertha in the attic here. This is what he's hiding, because he is in despair. There's a sad here, there's a front. This is not being who we are. We have the High Priestess, which is secrets and the things that are hidden, combined with Virgo in the Hermit card, again hidden away in the cave. I just sort of feel that Mike here is now, well, he's in despair. Either he's not been honest with this feminine, and it's now left him in despair because he has been hiding something probably fairly large here. Maybe the fact that he even was married or in a relationship, but he's not come clean about something here, and he's putting a front on, but there is a lot hidden here with this individual. And as I say, I got both Jane Eyre with Mad Bertha in the attic, where you know, De Winter goes on to marry, you know, while he's they're both sort of, in my opinion, they're quite similar stories, but he's got a big secret here, and he is hiding something fairly substantial, and it is making him quite ill, basically. He is now concerned, and perception. So this is a change of perception. This may be that him coming back to taking the self in the 180 here, and suddenly looking in the rear view mirror, and it looks entirely different to what he imagined. I think he has had a false perception about this situation. Maybe the fact that you were supposed to wait for him, I don't know. but there's a perception issue here, and he's now concerned about this. And it may be that you have options now if you're the Lady of the Harvest here. But this is someone who's basically very, very confused in the Seven of Cups. Confused, he's juggling, he's burdened about the truth of the situation, basically. And that's where our Mike is now. As I say, if you're coming through as the Lady of the Harvest, your focus is a very simple reading if you can take yourself in isolation here, where you have released yourself, where you are very much focused on moving to something cleaner, less complicated. There's no clutter. I just want my happiness back. I want to be happy again. I'm going to set up my stability. I am still very much in seeker. But everything else that Mike has got on here, whether it's completed or not, he does seem to have done a quick 180 just to check if you're there still waiting, and you're not. And I think that's thrown him completely. Okay, so I'm going to take an advice card for both Mike and the Lady of the Harvest, because you may resonate with either of those. So please, Spirit, can I have... I don't know if this will be relevant. I did have a little meditation on it, but it was so incredibly random. It was, trying to think, a yellow, was it a yellow taxi? Oh gosh, it's annoying me now, I can't think. I've written it down, but it's not here. Oh, it was a loss of trust. That's what it was. I got an image of when I was at the dentist. I've always been terrified of the dentist, not so much now, but certainly when I was younger. And I was in the dentist's office for 6 hours because every time they called my name, I either passed out, threw up, had to go to the toilet. I was at least 6 hours. But the image that flew into my mind was when I was getting the gap. My mother promised to stay with me and she was holding my hand. And I mean, she promised not to let go and be there when I woke up. And as I was drifting off, as the gas was taking me, I felt her hand slip out of mine and the dentist's big old man hand go in. And it just killed me because she promised. So what I'm getting from that, Libra, is that there has been a breach of trust here, basically. So advice for Mike, please. What advice do you have for Mike, the Mancer, in this Libra reading? We have embrace the energy of peace, Mike, and make plans and focus. And for the Lady of the Harvest... Oh, lovely. Again, enjoy success and happiness, which is very much like the Joy card. So, my Lady of the Harvest, I really do think, trust and thrive. You have been able to let this go. It has been painful for you. I see really good, positive things ahead for you. Just continue to do what you're doing. I really do feel you're on the right path here. I think Mike may have a little bit more to deal with. I do hope that this has resolved itself. It is quite possible that it has, and now he just has to find a bit of peace on what's gone down here. So I'll pop the tragedy song below if you want to have a listen. If you'd like a personal, all my information is below. Again, thank you for sticking with me, and I'll talk to you soon. Happy birthday, Libra.